In this video, I will show you how to turn a Ronson JetLite, like the one in this package, into a even better Ronson JetLite. I'll show you how this $3 lighter you can buy at Walmart can be turned into a lighter that can compete with jet lighters similar to it, and even outperform a lot of them that cost $30+. Honestly, these are such good lighters that even though it's a single cone, I would probably use this way before I'd use ones worth hundreds of dollars. And then after we do the modifications, we will compare this lighter to a non-modified version, and you can see the difference. Before we continue, I have pulled this out of the package. These come with a 1-year warranty. You need proof that you bought it. You have to keep your receipt, blah blah blah. If it breaks, you can send it back to the repair facility. I believe it's now the Zippo Repair Center, because Zippo now owns Ronson, with a copy of the receipt, and they'll repair it if it's within that 1 year. The problem is, it's such a cheap and affordable lighter. Why do you care about the 1-year warranty? Honestly. Anyway, so here is the Ronson JetLite. What we are going to do is modify this. When you buy one of these, they always come filled. Before we continue doing the modifications that we are going to do, you will want to purge it. But first, let me show you exactly what this thing can do normally. You have to press really hard on the button because these have a child-resistant spring under the trigger. It takes a lot of force to press down that button. The nice thing is, with the removal of this screw right here, you can get up in it and pull that spring out, and then it makes it very easy to press the button down. Also, we're going to be removing a little stopper that's on this fuel adjustment valve control. It's a little piece of brass, and this little stopper prevents you from pushing the flame too high or too low. The thing is, that translates into you can only basically use Ronson or Zippo lighter fluid. Lighter fuel. This is butane, of course. So that's a problem, because this lighter, I have tried modified ones with other types, poorer filtered ones that involve a lot more valve force, and even higher quality ones that involve a lot less valve force. If you can't modify it, you can't use those fuels. And a lot of those butanes are actually a lot better than Ronson and Zippo butane. So let's begin the video on the modifications. First things first, since these lighters come pre-fueled with the butane, you need to purge the system, because what we are going to do may involve loosening the screw enough until it can actually pop out and hit you, because it will be under force. This screw right here actually holds the force of the butane inside of it, and if you loosen it too much, it will shoot out and you could be injured. There's a lot of force in this. So what we want to do is first take something, stick in this valve, and release the pressure. and then you want to make sure there's no fluid left. Once you're sure it's empty, you can start disassembling it. First, we remove this screw right here. You need a small Phillips head screwdriver. Once the screw's out, you can just pull on the cap and the insert should pull right out. Alright, before we continue, there's one thing you need to know. Do not remove this pin right here that holds the top on. If you remove this pin, it's not impossible to put the top back on, but it's very challenging. Plus the top's held on. It has a spring that's under tension, and this spring can be lost very easily. So you want to be careful with that. But we'll first start with the screw on the bottom. The reason why this is here is so you don't loosen the screw too much and, you know, be injured. Plus, it prevents you from using other fuels. So you want to remove this brass washer right here, this little piece right here, this golden piece here. Alright? You will need something to pry up under it and pull it out. But first you need to remove this rubber washer, which I already did. You don't want to lose this washer. And I do not have the tool with me to remove this, so I need to get that real fast. The easiest way to do this is to have something like a small flathead screwdriver to wedge up under this piece of brass right here and then pull up. And if you get it up under it, it will come right out. It might take a little force to get it off because sometimes it gets stuck on the screw. But if you continue pulling it, it should be alright. And if you can't get it off, you can always, well, honestly, I shouldn't say that because you may end up being hurt. But you just keep pulling and it will pop off. And once that's off, you never need it again. So now this can take any type of butane fuel made for a hand lighter. Now let's get to this trigger spring. We're going to be removing this spring, and the easiest way to do it is to remove this pin here and this pin here, and then pull the top assembly off, and that will allow you to pull the spring out. I will be right back on this video. The best way that I know of to remove this pin and this pin is to use a paper clip. Put the paper clip on, the pin will push right through. Don't lose the pin. Do it again, and it will allow you to pull the top off. Pins are out. Now you can just pull the assembly apart. Pull it straight up, pull the spring out, then you can just put it back in. If you're careful enough, everything should just clip back in. Make sure the hose reconnects, and then you can just push the pins back in. The smaller pin goes in this hole, and the longer pin goes in the other hole. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I am not going to film this because it's a little challenging to film and do it at the same time. So actually I got it in. Once you have the pins in and they're flush, you can reassemble the lighter. Yeah, I'm going to finish doing this. Actually, there it went. Wow, it's impressive. Once you're sure it's all flush, you can reassemble the lighter. I paused the video because I had problems with getting this pin back in. They don't have to be perfectly flush as long as the pins are both back in and the top's nice and solid. Now, before we put it back together, remember the rubber washer? You want to make sure that rubber washer is back on this screw. So, take it and just stick it back on the screw like so. Make sure it's nice and around it, and oops, I actually didn't get it on the screw. Make sure the washer is back on it, and then you can proceed sliding top back into the case. And then you can put the screw back in the screw hole. I have finished putting it together, refilled the lighter with Ronson butane, which is the same as Zippo butane now, and readjusted the valve for a taller flame. It's good to have a more adjustable valve so you can have a taller flame, which allows you to light things a lot better. And it's particularly good for cigars and stuff, I assume. Anyway, this button's so easy to push now. I can even start it with any finger on my hand. I'd start it with my pinky, but it's a little hard to film. But just take my word for it. It's a lot easier to light now. Now let's compare this to a regular unmodified one. Both of these Ronsons are using the same type of fuel. Both Ronson butane. This is the non-modified one with the flame height at max. Here. This is the modified one with the flame height at a height that is just good enough. See the difference? Let's compare them. Comparison of height. Unmodified. Modified. Much taller flame. You can modify these as much as you want on height, but I do recommend you do not have it too high, because the higher the flow is, the faster you use up fuel, and it tends to sometimes not stay lit if you have it too high. Plus, the flame will continue going after you let go of the valve. There we go. Let's compare it one more time. Top on the unmodified. Big difference. And now this one's able to use any type of lighter butane. Just one warning: if you pull this too high and you twist it too far, like I said before, That brass washer is more of a safety feature. Without that washer there, you can twist this screw all the way out. And if you do that, you might end up injured, having this thing shoot back at you. And I'm not going to be responsible if you end up doing that. So just remember, safety first, and never over twist this screw. But now it's highly adjustable. This is about the height of the flame I usually use on my Ronson JetLites. Max, unmodified, modified. And like I said, the removing of that spring makes it so much easier to press this button. And that's how you turn this lighter into a very, very good lighter. It's so impressive how good this lighter really is, especially after being modified. This will outperform most single cone butane lighters on the market, no matter what the price is. And in my next video, I will be comparing this modified lighter to a Zippo Blue. Thank you for watching. On one last note, these lighters are known to be highly reliable. I've heard people using these for multiple years and always work, always. And the nice thing is, if it stops working, even though you just voided your warranty, it's $3. Go out and buy you another one. And word of warning, there are these for sale on eBay, and a lot of them have been modified just like this, and they go for $30+. Why would you buy a $30+ one of these when you can do it yourself very easy in a few minutes and have the same result for $3? So don't buy them on eBay. Go to Walmart, buy you one. Thank you for watching.